Before we get started with the video, I'd like to give a shout out to Patrick K and thank him for joining my Patreon. If you're interested in supporting me, there's various tiers available that allow you to do just that. You instantly get updates by me on future video projects, unseen channel analytics, and so much more. If you're interested, information will be down below. Once you join up, I will message you personally to thank you for your support. Since hockey players are professional athletes and depend on their physical fitness for their paychecks, staying in shape in the NHL is extremely important. So much so that teams hire multiple staff members whose job is to help players manage their diets and exercise to be the best players possible. However, over the years, we've seen a few instances in which players weren't able to meet NHL standards when it came to being fit. In this video, we're going to go over a slew of players who were too out of shape to play hockey for their respective teams. And with that, here are 4 NHL players who were punished for being out of shape. Jake Dotchin. When it comes to Dotchin, at least for me personally, I remember him most as the unfortunate recipient of a Brad Marchand cheap shot. Anyways, without digressing too much, the incident we're about to go over also took place while the defenseman was suiting up for Tampa Bay. Initially, drafted in the 6th round by the Lightning in 2012, Dotchin presented himself as a two-way defenseman that utilized his larger frame with ease. Dotchin was mostly known for his physicality and possessing a bite to his game. After being drafted and playing in the OHL a bit longer, Dotchin finally made his NHL debut in 2017. Dodgen split his first 2 NHL seasons, playing for Tampa's AHL affiliate and the Lightning as well. However, after making strides in the right direction career-wise, well, unfortunately for Dotchin, the same couldn't be said for his off-season regiment, as Dotchin, who reported to training camp in September of 2017, was given some pretty bad news after jumping on the scales. Since he was at least 30 pounds over the allowed weight to precede camp, Dotchin witnessed his contract being terminated by Tampa Bay. Elliotte Friedman, who spoke about the incident, shed some light on the situation. From what I heard, it was extreme. He wasn't just out of shape, he was extremely out of shape. We had heard he showed up with 25% body fat. That's way too high for an NHLer, Friedman said. We do have to give Dotchin some credit here though. After getting the news that he was too heavy to play, he took initiative and hired a personal trainer immediately after the termination, according to The Athletic. And it was during the 60-day window, after the Lightning let him go, that Dotchin filed a grievance against his team. Despite the upset he had with Tampa, however, things began to look up for Dotchin as the Anaheim Ducks took interest in signing him for the purpose of assigning him to their AHL team. Currently, Dotchin is playing overseas for a team whose name I'm not going to butcher, but it appears that he's doing quite well, as he currently is playing with former NHLer Thomas Plekanec and has 20 points following 43 games played. Definitely one of the most talented US-born players to play in the NHL. Keith Tkachuk finished 6th amongst all American players in points. Drafted 19th overall by the Winnipeg Jets, Tkachuk relished in playing a physical role from day one. After playing for the Jets and Phoenix Coyotes, Tkachuk made his way to St. Louis, where he eventually finished his career. But long before he decided to hang up the skates, in 2005, Tkachuk found himself in hot water with the Blues. In case you're new to hockey or weren't aware, the NHL faced a lockout that kept players from playing any games for the 2004-2005 season. In result of the stoppage, Tkachuk wasn't practicing or doing much, unfortunately, to remain ready for a return to play. And in September of 2005, Blues management took note of his physique. Tkachuk was suspended for reporting to his team, according to sources, 25 pounds overweight. Interestingly, at the time, according to ESPN, Tkachuk was the 2nd highest paid player league-wide, as he was earning $7.6 million per season. Former Blues GM spoke about the matter, saying, "Until he passes a physical, he's suspended." About 10 days later, however, Tkachuk returned to his team ready to play. "I wasn't as prepared as I should have been," Tkachuk says, "but I'm telling you right now, if you watched me skate today, I'm definitely prepared now." Taken 7th overall in 2009 by Toronto, Nazem Kadri emerged out of the OHL and showed tons of promise. Relentless on the forecheck and highly creative offensively, Kadri presented himself as a highly versatile forward with great vision. For quite a few seasons early on in his career, Kadri spent time playing for both the Maple Leafs and the Marlies. And it was in the fall of 2012 that Kadri caused a stir as he reported for training camp at the AHL level. According to an article from Yahoo Sports, Kadri arrived at camp in less than acceptable shape. What's extremely strange about this is the fact that also, according to the source, Kadri trained with fitness guru Gary Roberts in the offseason relentlessly. The whole purpose of the regiment for Kadri was to gain muscle and to play more explosively. Unfortunately though, the notion apparently backfired. Head coach at the time, Dallas Eakins, spoke on the matter. His body fat today is probably in the bottom 3 to 5 guys in our whole camp, and that's unacceptable, Eakins said. Kadri came back with a rather mature response to the whole ordeal. I'm still a young guy. I'm slowly learning how to be a pro and what types of food to put into my body. But it's not like you're going to get it in a couple of months. You're going to start to figure it out. You'll gradually get the hang of it as you go. Even though there wasn't any direct punishment this time, Kadri was definitely punished socially due to Eakins' choice of words to the media. However, even though he's made headlines plenty of times due to suspensions, Kadri hasn't had an issue with his weight ever since. I think most of us can remember the most recent controversy to come about on this list, as the Jack Eichel and Buffalo Sabres marriage was a very strained one at best. After a long tumultuous period of back and forth shots being taken between Eichel and management, the last bout of punishment from the Sabres came about in 2021. Since Eichel, who had suffered a herniated disc in his neck, had his heart set on a particular surgery, this drove a wedge further between him and his team. Eichel, who even admitted that he had requested a trade following the shortened season, was wanting an artificial disc replacement surgery that his team wasn't going to allow. Now, it's interesting to ponder the what-ifs on this one. What if Eichel hadn't asked to be moved before his injury came about? Anyways, due to the stalemate between player and team, Eichel, who was suffering from neck pain, didn't train in the offseason of 2021. And due to this fact, the forward showed up to training camp out of shape. In result, the Sabres decided to strip Eichel of his captaincy thereafter. GM Kevin Adams gave his thoughts on the controversy. Jack's health is most important to the organization. We're hoping to avoid surgery, but it is needed. Eichel will not accept Sabres' desire for fusion surgery. I feel the captain is a heartbeat of your team. I felt that we needed to address that, Adams said. Directly after losing captaincy, Eichel was placed on the IR until he was traded to Vegas months later. In conclusion, it's important to mention that reaching the NHL is a tremendous accomplishment, and to do that, it definitely takes a great amount of work ethic, unless you're Phil Kessel. Even still, I thought this would be an interesting topic to explore, and one that I hope you all enjoyed. Again, join my Patreon if you'd like some perks, and also if you'd like to support the channel and your favorite team at the same time, be sure to use the link below to shop with Fanatics. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.